Okay, so now this video is about combining like terms. And this is actually really basic idea. It's basically just matching. You just need to know that if it has the same variable and the same exponent, they're like terms. I want to challenge you to put these like terms together before you even look at the video. There's a kind of a clue built into the title slide, so if you look at it closely, you should be able to figure it out. Pause if you need to. So what are like terms? Like terms are two or more terms with the same variable to the same degree. Now, first of all, a term, by term I mean monomial expression. Mono meaning one and nomial meaning name or number. So one name or one number expression. So that like 1/4 W squared would be one term. 18W squared would be one term. So those are two monomial expressions. So two or more terms with the same variable in blue. You see I have the variable, I have the W in the top example. The W's are the same. And in the bottom example, the X's are the same. And then they must be to the same degree, basically meaning the exponent or how many times you have that variable. So again, in the top example, our degree is 2 and it is the same in both terms. In the bottom example, our degree is 3, the same in both terms. So even though we have different coefficients, which are the numbers in front of the variable, will tell you how many times you have that variable. 3, -4, 1/4, 18, that can be anything. But what makes it a like term is if it is the same variable in both expressions to the same degree. Pause here if you need to write down any questions or complete your notes. So, how do we combine like terms? Well, when terms are on opposite sides of the equal sign, you are going to perform reverse PEMDAS just like we would do with any other terms in solving equations. We have a 3k on one side and a 12k on the other side. We subtract 3k from both sides, okay, because we're trying to get the k by itself on one side of the equal sign. So we get 9k on the right side by itself. And on the left side, we're left with -9. Divide both sides by 9. -1 equals k, or k equals -1. So that's basically just a two-step equation that you guys should be pretty familiar with, unless you haven't seen the equation videos. If you haven't, after this video would be the best time to go ahead and look at those. When the terms are on the same side of the equal sign, you're going to combine them, add them together, just like if you had 3 plus 5 equals 8. Well, because 3 and 5 are on the same side of the equal sign, then you would add them together. So same thing with like terms, just go ahead and combine them. 6y plus 3 plus 2y equals 27. Well, we have a 6y and a 2y on the same side, so we'll just combine them right there. And that 6y plus 2y would give us 8y. Leave the 3. We can't combine the 3 because it doesn't have a variable. So it can't have the same variable to the same degree as 8y because there is no variable. So they're not like terms. You can't put them together. Just leave it there. 8y plus 3 equals 27. There is a space for you to complete this problem in your notes. You all should be able to do so. Go ahead and do that. If you cannot complete this problem, again, you should have watched the one-step equation video at least. If you haven't, go ahead and watch that. Pause if you need to. We're moving on. I have a bit of advice I just want to share. Don't be confused by subtraction problems. Remember that subtraction is the same thing as adding the negative, okay? So here, if I have 6y plus 1 minus 2y equals 5, now because both of the like terms are on the same side of the equation, you're just going to combine them. There's no subtracting the opposite, adding the opposite, moving to the other side, none of that. Just add them together like you would any other two numbers that were on the same side of an equal sign. Okay? But because we have 6y minus 2y, or plus negative 2y, however you want to look at it, you're going to get 4y. Okay? That's the only difference. So you do the same thing. Don't get confused by the negative sign, or a minus sign. Just treat it as a negative or a minus. It can't be a negative and a minus at the same time, but you can always treat it as either a minus or a negative and tie it to the number that comes after it. Take a look at this example. Make sure you get those notes. Make sure you write down any questions that you have. Pause if you need to. I'm moving on. So I'm back at the title slide. I told you about a challenge earlier in the video. If you could figure it out, it wasn't too hard. Basically, look at the color combinations. The colors of the different numbers are clues to which of the numbers are like terms. So if you didn't get that, or if you want to check your answers, go ahead and do that now. And here are our answers. The 3x and the 5x go together. Those are pink. The bluish greenish color, negative 6x cubed and the 8x cubed. The orange, 7 and 4. Those are constants. They are still like terms though, if you think about the definition. They have the same variable to the same degree.